Crisis averted.
Good morning, Stacy. We are good on the computer whenever you're ready.
Great, thanks so much, Kathy. All right, we are about 1 minute prior to 10, according to my clock on my computer. So give everyone a minute to turn on their computers. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. So I will call today, October 21st, Public Safety and Health Committee to order. And thank you all for being with us. Again, we continue to meet remotely in an effort to keep ourselves, our family, and our community safe as the COVID-19 pandemic is still sadly with us. But there are still plenty of ways for the public to engage with us in either the committee or council settings. And the best place to visit to find all of that information is to visit the city's website at www.ci.missoula.mt.us/webcasts. And that is where you can find the links to attend any of our upcoming committee meetings or our Monday night city council meetings, as well as leave comment on open agenda items. You can also, if you feel more comfortable, leave a voicemail at 406-552-6012. That gets sent out to all members of council, or you can feel free to email us your thoughts or concerns at council@ci.missoula.mt.us. So we encourage you to still please be in touch as we continue to meet remotely. We will do a quick roll call. Kathy, would you mind taking care of that for us?
Certainly. Stacy Anderson.
Present.
John Contos.
Here.
Bertha Becerra.
Present.
Heather Harp.
Present.
Jordan Hess.
Present.
Gwen Jones.
She's unable to make it this morning.
Julie Merritt.
Present.
Jesse Ramos. Amber Sherrill.
Present.
Sandra Vasica.
Present.
Brian von Lossberg. Heidi West. Okay. Roll call is complete.
All right, thanks so much. We still have enough for quorum. So we have 2 sets of minutes to approve from August 18th as well as August 25th. Are there any changes to those minutes? Seeing none, those will stand approved. All right, well, I guess I can take public comment on items that are not on the agenda, but under the purview of the Public Safety and Health Committee. If anyone in attendance would like to make comment, please go ahead and use the raise your hand function and you will be called upon. Give you a minute to find that button. All right, doesn't look like the attendees have comments. So we have 3 agenda items today to discuss in our Public Safety and Health Committee meeting. And it looks like they are all from the fire department. So I do see that AC Davis is with us. And oh, it looks like he's got the Peanut Gallery, otherwise known as Gordy Hughes, with him as well. So AC Davis, I will turn it over to you to present on the referral purchase for a self-contained breathing apparatus.
All right, thank you, Stacy. Good morning, everybody. And we'll kick things off with our first referral agenda item, which is for fire to purchase self-contained breathing apparatus. This would be an entire replacement of everything that we have currently. This would be all brand new masks and regulators and packs and air bottles and air supply carts and systems for our confined space rescue. This is a complete package and upgrade of our air, our self-contained breathing air here at the fire department. This was on the core replacement CIP for this year. I believe we had $1 million earmarked for that purchase. And I'm coming before you today to ask for the approval for us to spend not to exceed of $885,000 to replace all of our equipment. The reason I switched it to a do not exceed, the newer bottles that we are looking at, the newer NFPA compliant bottles are an increase in air pressure. We're going from a 4,500 PSI bottle to a 5,500 PSI bottle. And our fill station here at our headquarters station, where we refill the bottles with air, we have a safety chamber that we put the bottles in when we fill them up, and they have a blast chamber. So if they were to have a catastrophic failure while filling, it protects the user from that. We're working with the manufacturer to see if our fill station is rated to fill 5,500 bottles. Our compressor and our air system is rated for that. But what we don't know, and we're working with the Mako manufacturer, is to make sure that that blast chamber is rated for that higher PSI. And if it is not, then we would have to purchase a new fill chamber that would be rated for the higher PSI bottles. So my hope is we do not have to purchase that. It's about a $15,000 piece of equipment. And I'm hoping that we can either make modifications or additions to ours to make it safe, or get the manufacturer to say that it is currently safe and is ready to use as is for this higher pressure. That's why I have the do not exceed there. And just a little bit of background, our SCBAs, it's very typical for them to become out of date and non-compliant with NFPA standards, just with the, trying to keep up with technology and the heads up displays and making sure that everything is in compliance for our safety of our firefighters. And then they do have a physical lifespan on them, and that is a 15-year lifespan. And at the end of 15 years, you have to replace them. Otherwise, they are not in compliance for any of the safety measures, and they won't guarantee that they will function for you any further than that 15-year mark. So if we are approved for this purchase, it would be a complete system replacement, and it would get us brand new equipment in time for replacing of our old equipment before it expires, before it hits that 15-year mark. And it would set us up with for the next 15 years, we would not have to worry about any of our self-contained breathing apparatus until that time. And I guess that's all I have for the proposal. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability.
Great. Thanks so much for that explanation, and a pretty core critical piece of equipment for you all. I do see that Ms. Harp has her hand raised.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Brad. Good morning, Gordy. I had no idea, but it doesn't surprise me that there is a certain life expectancy to scuba gear, just like there are for fire extinguishers. And I guess my question to you is, what happens with this existing equipment? Do you get to at least practice with it and use it, or what happens to it?
The way this quote came in is we have it set up through a group purchasing organization, through the vendor that's approved to sell this type of equipment here. It's a Scott air pack, and it's the same as what we have. And we have a discounted price in front of you today because we are trading in our old stuff, and they will strip it down and use what they can. So if there's straps and stuff that they can repurpose, they will, and the stuff that is expired will be recycled however the manufacturer recycles those. And it is similar that you kind of brought up, like scuba gear. So within the 15 years, we have to strip those down, and we hydro test them and ensure their safety throughout the 15 years. And we continue, kind of like fire extinguishers, you have to have them checked and refilled. We have to check these, hydro test them, and we continually do that throughout their lifespan. But they do have an age to where they will no longer be approved and no longer in compliance, and that is that 15 years of service.
Okay, great. Thanks, Brad. Stacy, I'm happy to put the motion on the floor for you.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Harp. That motion is in order. Do we have any additional council questions or comments? Great. If anyone in the audience would like to make comment on this particular item, please go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, well, Looks like we don't have any additional questions or comments from council members or the audience, or members in the attending audience. I guess that's what we call. Kathy, if you go ahead and if you would please do a roll call vote on this item, please.
Stacy Anderson,
Yes.
John Contos,
Yes.
Mirta Becerra,
Yes.
Heather Harp,
Yes.
Jordan Hess,
Yes.
Julie Merritt,
Yes.
Amber Sherrill,
Yes.
Sandra Vaseka.
Yes.
Vote has been approved, 8 yes.
West is here too. I vote yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Heidi West is, I did not see her. She is now in attendance, so.
Okay.
So it just looks like it's a 9 yeses.
9 yeses.
3 absence. Okay, lovely. That will be on our consent agenda on Monday evening. The next, we will turn it over to Gordy Hughes to tell us about the referral purchase for firefighter personal protective equipment turnouts. If you'd like to present on that item.
Good morning, members of the council, members of the audience. So we put in a proposal to have a second set of firefighter turnout equipment for all of our firefighters due to the pandemic and other situations that occur with the usage of our turnout protected equipment. Through the pandemic, we were challenged with utilizing our PPE in a way that we could repurpose and also dispose of equipment that was disposable. But what we discovered was that with only one set of turnouts that we were issued as firefighters, that if we were exposed to individuals with the virus, there was no way that we could come back and quickly launder and turn that equipment back around for structural usage. We did utilize coveralls. We purchased coveralls for everybody, but when we're responding to a fire call and have to be turned around to an EMS call, medical call, we're oftentimes still in that equipment, and we can't facilitate a quick turnaround and change from one call to another. And it became clunky to jump from outfit to outfit. So through the pandemic, we decided that this would be money well spent with the ARPA funding allowance that came out to the cities, and also would essentially kill 2 birds with 1 stone with the cancer initiative, the purple or the lavender report that came out with firefighters and their exposure with their PPE. The carcinogens adhere to the PPE, and if again we can't turn around and launder that equipment on a timely basis, we're left with damp and wet and equipment that's just impractical to utilize back to back. So our request is for $274,735 to provide a second set of turnout. That would be jacket, pants, structural firefighting footwear, and then flash hoods as well.
Great.
Into my presentation, and we'd be happy to take questions.
Perfect. And I think it's the referral has the price listed as $278,876.
Oh, perfect. Even better.
Okay, great. And it does look as though this is coming out of ARPA funds, which is an approved ARPA item, and it was approved in this year's fiscal budget. So great. We have a couple questions. Ms. Merritt.
I don't have any questions, but I would be happy to put the motion on the floor and say that this seems like the perfect usage of ARPA funds, just exactly what what was intended is that if the virus is causing you guys to need to spend more money on stuff, it should be covered. So I'm happy to support this.
Great, thank you, Ms. Merritt. That motion is in order. Ms. Hart.
Gordy, question for you. If we had people vaccinated to the herd levels that we needed to, would this be an expenditure that would be that you would be requesting?
Yes. We would be prepared for the next pandemic, I guess, in essence. And I think not knowing what we run into out there on a day-to-day basis, and those that we're in contact out of the community, this just covers us with a better option and further protection. And that the cancer one is also a large component to this, being able to protect our individuals the best we can. And that is one of the identified items of the Lavender report, aside from station cleanliness with our exhaust systems in the station. There's a multitude of ways that we are still looking at approaching keeping our firefighters protected from the carcinogens that they are exposed to on a day-to-day basis.
Great, Brad, thanks for that context. And thanks for also pointing out something that I never once considered before, and that is trying to do a lot of firefighter turnout laundry. I can only imagine who's the lucky one who gets to do that on a regular basis. So thank you. I'm in support of the motion.
Great, thank you so much, Ms. Harp. Also, Gordy, the other thing is, we are an incident or a hazmat. We spend a lot of time in the local emergency planning committee talking about the potential hazardous incidences that we may come into contact with the refineries, with the trains coming through downtown. And so this is also, I think, best practice to have this. So in case there is a hazardous material incident, and then you need to turn around and go out into a call into the community, that there is not that cross contamination as well. So I'm also in support of the motion. So great. We have no more questions from council members. I'll give the audience an opportunity to make public comment on this item. Doesn't look like they care to weigh in. So we'll take a roll call vote on approving this expenditure. Kathy?
Stacy Anderson,
Yes.
John Contos,
Yes.
Mirta Becerra,
Yes.
Heather Harp.
Yes.
Jordan Hess,
Yes.
Julie Merritt,
Yes.
Amber Sherrill,
Yes.
Sandra Vasica,
Yes.
Heidi West.
Yes.
Okay. Vote is approved, 9 yeses.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. We will also have that on our consent agenda on Monday night. The final item on our agenda for today is going to be presented to us by Brad Davis, which is a referral of a memorandum of understanding with the International Firefighters Union Local 271 for EMS certification of pay. AC Davis.
All right, thank you again, Stacy. So yeah, just a little background. As we negotiated and ratified the collective bargaining the collective bargaining agreement with Local 271 a couple of years ago, one of the things they asked for was a opener for cert pay, EMS cert pay, which the city agreed to at that time. So per that agreement and per the CBA, the Local 271 requested to open the contract to negotiate EMS cert pay. So Angela, taking the lead for the city, we sat down and negotiated in good faith with the bargaining unit, the MOU that you have attached in front of you, with an increase in cert pay for our ALS, our paramedic providers, and our advanced EMT providers. Again, as a department just laid out in our master fire plan, it is our goal and our intention to continue to move forward and provide ALS paramedic service for the city of Missoula. And with that, we've had great accomplishments and achievements working with our local bargaining unit to put together a paramedic program where we've successfully been able to send 4 of our individuals to paramedic school per year. We have our second group in this semester right now started, so this will be our second year of doing that. And with that, and with our vision and goals in mind of meeting the ALS service, we felt it appropriate to increase the pay for our paramedics and how valuable they are to our community and to our department. And so that's how this was negotiated. Local 271 has cast a vote and have ratified it on their end. So what we are looking for today is council approval. We negotiated a start date of this CERT pay MOU of April 1, which would give us at the fire department the ability to cover that cost of that CERT pay this year out of our budget. And then would look to move forward with that being part of the contract wages moving forward past this fiscal year. So the MOU that you see in front of us is, as I explained, with the start date of April 1, with us covering any additional costs out of our current budget. We're not going to ask for any more this year for that. And that is what I have for you. So if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Great. Thanks so much for that. I see Mr. Hess.
I'm happy to make the recommended motion.
Great. Thank you so much. That motion is in order. Absolutely see the value in having more firefighter paramedics in our community, given the amount of just overlap you have with EMS calls. Absolutely a great service that we are able to provide. Ms. Harp.
Brad and Gordy, I just want to state that I'm very proud of all of your staff members who have stepped up to take this extra certification levels. It is truly a remarkable public service to all of us here in our community. And I know with the mobile crisis unit, which is not part of this, I understand, but it just, I think, underscores all of the various different needs of our community. And this is just one really great way that for a very small price increase, if you will, we get more out of everybody. And I think that makes us all very proud. So thanks for putting this together.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Harp. I agree with that. Yes. Looks like you guys, AC Davis and Gordy Hughes.
Yes. So yeah, thank you for Heather. And I just want to take this opportunity as we continue to be progressive and try to look ahead. If you pay attention to some of the national news and some of the unintended consequences of COVID and the staffing levels and crises we've seen locally and across the nation, private ambulance companies are not doing great. And within our state, here locally in Missoula, we seem to be holding our own. We're having weekly meetings with Messi and Dawn, but just as we continue to build our capacity and our ALS levels here at the fire department, and the purchase of our ambulance and our surplus ambulance that we've made in the years past are all proving to be very, very good moves in that unfortunate event if our private ambulance company was unable to maintain staffing levels and provide provide the service that they are currently providing for us. We need to have a plan to make sure our communities covered not only with transport ambulance, but with that ALS coverage that Messi is currently providing for us today. So like I said, we're doing everything in our power to ensure Messi's success and working with them weekly, even daily, but just as we watch our brothers and sisters in Billings and Great Falls and Bozeman struggle with their ambulance providers and having to try to pick up the pieces, this is just one more step in the right direction to ensure that we're doing the right thing for our community if we ever get faced with that same situation. So.
Thank you so much for that context. It absolutely is something that's happening. I like Heather's fine, happening across the country. And I just think that you guys are on top of it and appreciate all the work that you're doing to make sure that there's continuity in service no matter what happens in our community. I mean, I think it was Phoenix where literally the private ambulance one day just decided not to work anymore and turned it right over to the Phoenix Fire Department, and they had to scramble to make sure that there wasn't gaps in coverage in the community. So appreciate all the work on that. So all right, we have a motion on the floor. I will call one last time for public comment on this motion. It doesn't look like there's going to be any, so we will have a roll call vote on this third agenda item.
Stacy Anderson,
Yes.
John Contos,
Yes.
Mirta Becerra,
Yes.
Heather Harp,
Yes.
Jordan Hess,
Yes.
Julie Merritt,
Yes.
Amber Sherrill,
Yes.
Sandra Vasica,
Yes.
Heidi West.
Yes.
Motion is approved. 9 yeses.
Great. Thank you so much for that. Once again, that will be on the consent agenda on Monday night. Looks like Monday night's consent agenda is going to be the fire department night. And with that, there is no further business on our agenda item. Thank you again, AC Davis and Gordy Hughes for joining us today, and whoever is there in the background. Hello.
Yeah, no, thank you
Oh,
all
wait,
for your continued support, and without a supportive council, that's what makes it possible for us to be progressive and make sure we have all the right things in motion. So I appreciate the support, and thank you guys for everything you do.
Yes. Okay. That looks like the chief in the background. I did not recognize him without his glasses on. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. I will adjourn today's Public Safety and Health Committee meeting. You have a whole 20-minute break before admin and finance starts at 10:45. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your morning.